today we are doing a very special stage for the cell in which we are adding vibrant bursts of color to an authentic SOHO loft. I'm truly excited because I get to use some of my favorite colors, from orange to blue, pink, yellow. It's time to get started. We're on the 5th floor of this loft building, and there's a reason why all of our furniture, accessories are here in the hallway. We got a surprise this morning: no elevator. As you can see, this space is absolutely massive. One of the challenges is that this really read as two different spaces. So our design solution is to create one cohesive large room. And we're going to achieve this by creating essentially one space using two oversized, identical area rugs. Trust me, it's going to be successful. One of the things that's really special about this kitchen is this really expansive bar. This could be a potential challenge, though, for buyers, what to do with this space. And so our plan is to have a very long, extended dining table and then 8 chairs. One of my favorite design features about this particular loft actually are all these shelves, and this is going to be the first impression. You're going to get off of an elevator here and this is what you see. So we're going to spend a lot of time styling these shelves and using a technique that we call color mapping. We're going to use a lot of books, which is one of my favorite design elements to design with, and then we're going to mix some moss as well as florals. So this is the queen bedroom, and I really like the lime, but we're going to take it up a notch and totally change the color story, so to speak. I'm going to go more muted here with the duvet, and then I'm going to add really big bursts of yellow, mixing it with some blue. Essentially what we're doing here is a technique in which we're using high contrast. We're taking neutral colors, maybe it's a taupe, a gray, and then we're adding contrasting colors such as the dark indigo. We're now in the guest room, and it doesn't feel as warm and cozy as we would like, so we're going to have a lot of fun with it as it relates to colors. I decided to use this plum, this deep plum, which is really kind of like an aubergine, and then we're going to mix it with this turquoise. We're going to have these pops of color, and essentially what we're doing is we're mixing warm colors with cool colors, really bold colors that we're mixing with colors that are more deep and rich. Now we're in the master bedroom, and I've decided to add a lot of texture here. This is a toss pillow that really has a lot of deep colors and variations, and it feels like wool, almost like a raffia. So we're going to add that here to what is really a bench. Adding more texture, I decided to go with leather. Leather is something that you don't often see in a pillow. A lot of times it's woven. Because if it's not woven, then it comes across sometimes as too sleek and almost too much sheen, almost like a plastic. And so here, this woven leather, once we put a new duvet cover, this is going to read with a lot of texture and interest. And then we're going to go one step further by kicking it up a notch with a pattern. And so the design recipes tip that we're using here essentially involves mixing both pattern with texture. So we're going to have here a mix of all these warm books, and then we're going to contrast it with little cubes that are going to have lime, lots of lime moss, and then we're also going to have some frames and figurines. So what I want to do right now is just kind of set everything up. Let's just kind of set everything up so we just have our blocks of color and we know what we're going to do, almost like mise en place with a meal. Okay. We're just going to have everything kind of set, and then we're going to place it once we've blocked all the color. So what I want you to do is I want you to start making some of these arrangements. Again, we're going to have kind of like a mise en place. So we're going to do a mix of just literally creating some mosses We're gonna mix some of those in there, and then, do you have the tall white
These tall pieces right here?
Yep.
Here.
So, for example, in the back room, where we're doing the, start tall and then go smaller, just so that we don't create a stem that's just too small, but we're gonna cut some of this off right here.
I love that fuchsia with the white.
Yeah, we're gonna do with even turquoise. But I wanna go in and just make this really, really tight and full.
Sure.
Just to pop. Now this is, so I want you to make all the arrangements, because basically a lot of this is just placing styling, whether it's what we're putting on the shelves or what we're putting in the bathrooms. Just make it really, really tight, even tighter than this. So here, I just want you to create a whole bunch of different ones. So like make this one all white. Fill it in here. Make one all green. And so I just want you to make a whole bunch of little vignettes that we're just going to be placing. And in some instances you can mix. Like you could mix this with that or something like that. But these are going to be what are going to go on some of those shelves. We're going to go on some of the side tables and what have you. Okay?
All right. Thanks.
Now that our staging is nearing completion, let's take a look at the before and after. The living room was probably one of the biggest challenges. It really felt a little cold, almost sterile. In fact, I called it a no-touch store. But we really wanted people to be able to embrace it and feel the warmth and comfort. So we incorporated a couple key elements that I want to share. One involves bold, bright color and velvet texture. So we have this beautiful blue velvet pillow, and then we paired it with faux fur. This is essentially repeating what we have here, and this isn't just any faux fur. This is long hair lamb's wool, this curly type of faux fur that I really, really love. It feels really luxurious. And then we paired it with orange. Who doesn't love orange? Just that combination, which I think is really successful. Just kind of pairing that cool blue, that cool color with something that's warmer and richer, whether it's a red, yellow, or orange. Let's talk about shelf dressing, which to me is the absolute showstopper, especially when you first enter this residence. You see all these beautiful shelves and lots of color. Here I used a technique that I call color blocking, in which you essentially take blocks of color and you spread it throughout. So here I ordered about 200 books in 3 colors, red, yellow, and orange. And so what you're seeing is a repetition of those same books over and over. That red, that yellow, and that orange. And then we contrast it by seeing all this lime green in various forms, all this greenery. And so the takeaway tip here is to use a technique called color blocking, in which you take 3 colors and repeat it throughout your space. Let's talk about the kitchen and color. Kitchens, bathrooms, these are often discarded spaces, but don't forget design and don't forget color. So here we have this beautiful wood paired with this gray. And so we're adding more gray, but a pop of color too. So for example, this detail, I took these vessels with this gray brush top, paired it here, filled it with some pasta, all blends. Then we're popping it here with metallic chrome, again gray. But we're taking it even deeper with this really warm, really charcoal gray vessel that we're filling with pops of color with this lime moss. But we're also adding red. And then we're repeating kind of that lime color here that you see here with the cabbages. And so we're essentially repeating and adding color throughout to create this whole cohesive vignette. You can see the red there, repeated there, repeated there. And so my design takeaway tip is to never ignore spaces like kitchens and bathrooms. In the master bedroom, we blended a mix of warm tones with lots of texture, pairing neutral bedding with a braided pillow along with an eye-catching patterned fabric. This is the guest room, not to be confused with a children's room just because we have 2 twin beds. In fact, we wanted this room to feel inviting and fun regardless of whoever was using this room. So we decided to go traditional, but then bold and bright. So we have this gorgeous traditional black and white check. Timeless. It will never go out of style. And then we mixed it with something really kind of fun and funky, which is this leopard pattern area rug. What we did then is that we added bold, bright color, kind of repeating that turquoise from that rug into the tossed pillows, and then we went rich and deep with our color, adding plum, which is really a shade of purple, or I like to use the term aubergine. So the takeaway tip from this particular room is never to be afraid to mix pattern as well as bold, bright color and a hint of tradition. This bedroom brought to life through an infusion of eye-popping colors like mustard yellow. The contrast between the yellow and the white makes a strong statement. Absolute perfection, a true architectural gem right in the heart of Soho, staged and styled and ready for the sale.